Hi everyone. In this video we will learn about cell referencing in Excel. A cell reference in Excel is basically the cell address that identifies a cell in Excel. It's a combination of a column letter and a row number. So here in the name box you can see the cell address, the cell reference. So as I go to the other cells, the cell address changes in the name box. References are used in formulas to do calculations. There are three types of cell references in Excel. Relative reference, which is the default one, absolute reference, which is also called fixed reference, and mixed reference, which is also called half-locked referencing. Let's take a look at each of these types. I'll do a total of these three cells, which is the sales for different months for a laptop. Please use the auto sum feature. It gives the sum function and it adds these three columns. Now to copy the formula across the other rows, I'll just have to drag this here. So it copies the formula to the next rows. And you see here it is sum E3G3. When you go to the next one, becomes E4G4. The next one becomes E5G5. So this happens automatically because Excel uses relative referencing. So Excel assumes everything should move unless you tell it specifically not to. When you do not see any dollar sign in the cell address, that means it is relative referencing, the default referencing style in Excel. Now let's say you want to calculate the tax, which is tax on this sales. So to calculate the tax, I'll multiply sales by tax rate. So I get 648 as a tax, this total sales. Now when I drag this cell across to the other rows, see it does not calculate the formula for the other rows, for the other products. It's because the tax, which is supposed to be E12, has become E13 here, it has become E14 here, it has become E15. It's moving because Excel assumes relative referencing. We need to fix this cell address. So here E12, we need to fix it by giving the dollar sign. So we say $E and $12. That means we are locking the column E and we are locking the row 12. $E and $12. Say enter. Now when we copy, it calculates the proper tax because see the second part $E, $12, it remains the same in each of these rows. Now this is called absolute referencing or fixed reference because we have fixed the row and the column by giving the dollar symbol. In this case, tax is one value, tax percentage is one value and it must not change. That's why you give the fixed reference. Now you can also use mixed referencing, which is also called half locking, wherein you lock just one of either column or row. So let's say here I have commission 5%, 6%, 7%. So I'll first calculate the total. To calculate the commission, I'll multiply the monthly total by this percentage. Now here E9, which is the commission percentage, I want the row to be locked and I want only the column to move. Because for January it is 5, Feb it is 6 and March it is 7. I'll keep the row locked. To do that, I'll keep E as it is because it is the column number and I'll lock the row which is 9. I'll say dollar here. So when I copy across, see for this one and this one for February and March, the second part $9 remains same, whereas the column E, F and G is free to move. So this is half locked because you've locked only the row. This is mixed referencing. So this is how referencing works in Excel. There are three types of referencing: relative referencing, absolute referencing and mixed referencing. Now instead of having to type the dollar sign, you can also use a shortcut in Excel, which is the F4 shortcut. Bring up the keypad. So here 648 is $E, $12, so I can go there. Now instead of typing or removing the dollar sign, I can just toggle. I can say F4 and it keeps on toggling. It will add or remove $1 at a time. It will add and remove dollar symbol for the column number and the row number. It will toggle one at a time. So I'll say Fn F4. I'll do F4 again. I'll do F4 once more. Now it has removed dollar from both the column as well as the row number. I'll do F4 again. It has added for both. So you keep on pressing F4 and it will add or remove dollar from the column number as well as the row number. So it will keep on toggling. So if you don't want to type the dollar sign, use the F4 shortcut. Here I have used the on-screen keyboard to demonstrate. You don't have to use it. You can directly use the F4 key. So this is all about references in Excel. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel for more tutorials. Thanks.